Welcome back to Beginner Beading with Janet D. Today we are on our third step for the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women Awareness pin, and it's our final step. It will be the edging that goes around to pull everything together. So we have beaded around the pin, or around the cabochon. I have 3 rows, white, red, and colors, and then we did a row of banding around the edge. We've put on our pin onto the back along with some vinyl, and now we're going to edge around it. So to start, I'm going to use 2 colors. I have white and red here. Usually when we started a row, I had you knot your thread, but today I want you to leave it unknotted. We're not going to be knotting our thread. So to start the edging, we are going to pick up 1 bead. I'm going to have white around the base, and then I'm going to have red going across the top. I like to use 2 colors because it demonstrates the way that you do the edging. You can see how it works with 2 colors. So you can use 1 color if you like. So I have 1 bead on my needle, and I'm going to go up between the 2 rhinestones, like we did when we attached the rhinestone. And I'm going to pull my thread, and I'm going to leave a tail long enough to be able to add a needle to it and weave it through my work. So now that you can see I've got my bead on there, I am going to go up through that single bead. Up. We're going to go up through the bead and pull and you want to have enough thread to make it all the way around your circle with the edging. So 2 arm lengths is always a good way to start. So we have our first bead. So from here on in, if I'm doing 2 colors and I want white to be on the bottom, it's always going to be my second bead. So every time we're putting on 2 beads. So I'm going to add 1 red and 1 white. And I like to go look at the back and try to put my needle in like that through the pellin evenly with my last stitch and have it come up between the next gap between the 2 rhinestones. Then I'm going to go up through the white bead, and again I'm going to always go red, white, and you'll see how that will look. So again, I'm going to go through my back, try to keep it evenly spaced. If I keep it evenly spaced, it's more likely to go through that gap between the 2 rhinestones, up through the white bead, and you'll see that we have the red on the top and the white on the bottom. One more time, red and white, go through the back. So I'm going to go over a little bit so I can get through the next gap. There I am. And I push it up with my finger there, you can see, and then up through the white bead. So it's going to be 2 beads every gap between the rhinestone, and I'll come back when I've come all the way around and I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, so I've gone all the way around, and I have 1 more 2 bead section to do. So I'm going to do my red and my white. Go through the back, up through between the 2 rhinestones, and then up through that white bead again. So now I have these 2 white beads together, and they need a red bead. So this is the last bead I'm going to put on. So we no longer need 2, we're just going to do 1. So we're going to get 1 red bead and go down through that first white bead. So I'm going to go down in between the pellin and the vinyl, down towards the first row of beads, and that's where I'm going to come out. So you can see my needle is coming out where those beads are. and I'm gonna pull. And you can see here, I'm just gonna pull the thread that got stuck in there. You can see there now that we have that red bead pulling those two white beads together, like so. So now what we're going to do is finish it off, and all we have to do that is we're going to go through a few of those beads in the last row, and then we're going to push our needle underneath the thread that's already existing there, the ones that we use to actually bead them on, like so. So I'm sliding my needle under the thread, and I'm going to pull it until I have a small loop. Don't pull it all the way. You're going to leave that loop and go through that loop with your needle and then pull it. And you're going to make a little tiny knot. So that's just going to lock your work in. And I like to make that knot at least 2 times. So I'm going to pull it as soon as I go through the next bunch of beads, it's going to hide that knot inside those beads. See, it disappeared. And I'm going to do it one more time. Make a knot through the loop, pull, and then through the beads, like so. Okay, so once I go through those beads after the second knot, I'm going to be able to cut my threads. So pull your thread nice and tight, and then I'm going to put my scissors on top of my work like so, give it a little tug, and then snip, and then your thread will disappear inside the beads. So I've threaded that needle, or that thread, that very first thread that we left a tail on, and I'm going to go, so I went in this direction with the last thread, so I'm going to go in this direction with go in the opposite direction. So I put it through the red, down through the white, down between the pellin and the vinyl to that first row of beads. It doesn't actually matter which row you go to. I just like to go a shorter distance. So I'm going to come out between those beads there. You see that? Okay, we pull it, and we're going to go through a couple of beads. Sometimes this thread is too short to do 2 knots. 1 knot's okay, but I still prefer to do 2. Go under your thread that's already there, keep a loop and pull. There's your knot, and through a couple more. Pull, and the knot disappears. Do another one, and loop, knot, and then we're going to tug our thread through a couple more beads. And this helps you to avoid having knots that show, and we just weave our work in. So there we go. I'm going to tug on the thread and cut, and there we have our Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women pin to bring and raise awareness about the problem of our sisters disappearing and being murdered. So try your pin on, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please look for more. I'm going to be coming up with other projects. If there's a project you would like me to cover, please feel free to leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.